What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Pacific Revision. I am one of your hosts, Miguel. Hello, guys. Alongside me is my co-host, Eric. Say hello, Eric.
We're back, baby. Well, I'm back at least. You were here last week.
I was here.
Did you miss me?
I did, Eric.
I was busy. I don't like how many times you called me a piece of shit though. I gotta be honest.
You know what's funny?
Go on.
You had a great reason to be not here, and I forgot about that reason while I was recording.
I know, I
Otherwise,
let you know.
I wouldn't have called you a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was busy getting engaged last week. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I enjoyed the day after where I finally got to listen to you guys and it's just you guys called me a piece of shit for like 20 minutes.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
But what a busy week. Yeah, I had a great week last week. Yeah, I got engaged. It was cool. It was great. She said yes. Technically, there is a funny story to this though. So we do it in Santa Cruz. Beautiful cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Went well, 10 out of 10. But I get down on one knee, open the ring box, and the first word out of her mouth is no. So technically, I got rejected.
You said no first.
Okay, we bounced back though. We bounced back.
Well, congratulations on your engagement, Eric.
Thank you.
But you and your fiance are not the only ones that got a ring.
Oh, well, technically the Avalanche.
I know
still
they
get
haven't
till
got it
later.
yet, but the Colorado Avalanche have officially won the Stanley Cup championships in 6 games, beating the Tampa Bay Lightning. Congratulations to Colorado and all their fans. You guys are the greatest fan base in the NHL.
That's not what you
I
said.
am so happy for you guys. You guys deserve this. You deserve to sit on the mountaintop because you guys are just the greatest. Congratulations.
Well, technically they're avalanches, so they sit at the bottom of mountains because that's how avalanches work. But
Or maybe start
also,
at the top.
I guess. Like you don't try to gaslight the Pacific Revision audience here, saying they're the greatest fan base on earth. All right, if I remember correctly, we're only allowed to have one person celebrate, and that
That's
is one
true.
Aaron Sini.
And I'm happy for Aaron. I really am. Happy for
Yeah.
Aaron.
Remember you asked him how he's going to celebrate? He got drunk as shit. He
He did
absolutely
get
did.
drunk. He looked drunk
absolutely did.
in that video, clearly.
Oh man, God, it's the best feeling though. You gotta like sitting. Let's start there, Miguel. Sitting at home watching, or I don't know, you're probably working. Let's be honest. It's you work a lot, but sitting anytime you get to watch another team raise the cup, like such a mix of emotions. Like, what do you feel?
Uh so I was working. Uh um, this happened last night, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was working. I was closing. And I want to say I was on lunch break when it happened.
Uh huh.
And I mean I'm happy, but it made me sad. It makes me sad because I want that feeling.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's so good. It makes me
Like I'm
like it makes you
go on.
like at least for me like it makes me reminisce the two times that the Kings won it. And just the feeling of like, I can't believe it's happening. It's you get to watch everyone lift the cup and like you get to reflect on everything and it's insane. Like I wish I could bottle that emotion and have it forever. And watching the Avalanche raise the cup and watching Tampa raise it the last 2 years before that, like you can't wait and you hope one day it happens again. But when it happens, what a special moment.
It's yeah, 'cause it makes me a little sad because I want that, and on top of that, it makes me a little jealous because like it's so funny. I didn't feel. I mean, I guess I did. I did feel this way the last 2 years because Vegas was so close. Again this year because like if Vegas was in, like, would we have been able to beat Colorado? We would have been able to make that run. Like, you don't know. Like, it just sucks, but I mean, good for Colorado, and it makes me more excited for next season and hope that my team will do better.
I think this is the first year in a long time that I felt that way too. Because like I mean the Kings have
You
been
guys
shit
are in
for
it.
yeah, the Kings have been bad for the last 3 years. You don't have that same level of like jealousy or stuff. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh, you know what? I enjoyed the show. Thank you for all the 6 teams in the playoffs. Like it was great. I'm
It-
happy. Like it's fine. Like this is the first year though where I'm like, all right, the Kings need to be better. They can be, and I'm excited for them to get back in. And Will they? I don't know. Like I haven't thought of it that far, but that feeling of just watching the end, like and the Stanley Cup is always going to be special. Like anytime you see that thing on the ice, like it's a big moment and you feel it
Yeah,
for everybody. And you go through TikTok now, Twitter, like people celebrating, and you're like, man,
I
that
know.
that it looks silly, but that's gotta feel so good. You
I
gotta feel
know.
amazing right now. But
I
I
want
don't know.
that feeling.
I feel like it has to be like not to rub salt in the wound, Miguel, but I feel like it's got like it's such an interesting being. I think being in your position, considering last year, like last year, you beat the Abs handedly, four straight,
Yes, and
only,
then
only to lose to Montreal, which
I
is
know
insane. Like it doesn't make sense.
we're on a miracle run.
But that's hockey, you know what I mean? It just
That
it
is hockey.
just happens sometimes.
And
Like,
like I said, yeah, because we beat Colorado so handily, and we always do well against them in the regular season. That's like, despite how bad Vegas was to end the season, I'm like, you just never know. They would have made it in. Maybe they beat Colorado. Maybe because they do. They do. Like I said, it's all to me. It's all about matchups and styles, and Vegas always does well against Colorado.
also, let's talk about it this way. So man. So this final was real good. It was a great 6-game final. Like as a neutral observer, you wish it goes 7, but man, what a game 6! Like I think at the end of the day, though, like
I'm
man, these
sad. I'm also sad I didn't get to watch Game 6.
oh, it was good. It was good, Miguel. You would have enjoyed it.
I wish I was gonna. I wish it would have gone to 7 because I would have been able to watch Game 7.
Oh, we would have watched that together if it would have gone
Yeah,
that
for
long.
sure, 100%.
But it's that man. That's why I hate the playoff format. Like I know I don't want. We shouldn't complain too much. Like we had a phenomenal playoffs all around, but it makes me hate the playoff format because as much as I think the first round is the most interesting because of all the quote unquote rivalries within the division. Round 2 always feels like such a letdown because those are where you usually shouldn't get the matchups you get, especially if two teams in that division are really good.
Yeah, I agree.
And like you want, in theory, you'd
They
want like a
go back
second.
to reseeding.
Yeah, like honestly, could you like would the playoffs be better if I'm remembering the positioning how it worked if it was 1 through 4? You get Colorado, Calgary, and no, you get Colorado, Edmonton in one side, and Calgary, St. Louis in the other, and then you get a conference final of Colorado and St. Louis or Colorado and Calgary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it is what it is. Like I would like man. I'm just not a huge fan of the format, and but at the end of the day, also it's health. Like these teams at the end of it, like they're easily the best team. Like I don't know how you felt watching it, but like these two teams felt a step above everybody in the league.
yeah, I agree. Like, because I watched most games, I just didn't watch Game 6 and 2. I think it was. No, yeah, for sure. Like, clearly, I guess it's the first time in a long time that I felt the two teams that deserve to be the finals were in the finals. Because last year Montreal was there, did not deserve it, didn't play like they deserved it. It'd be the year before that, Dallas, same thing. It didn't feel like they should have been in there. They shouldn't have been in there, but they were. And like, we just never got the matchups I feel like we needed, we wanted, and this year we did. And so it made for a great finals. And I wish I would have gotten 7.
I wish they were both healthy.
Yeah.
Tampa
I
was
mean, no Braden Point, right, in Game 6?
yeah. Let's start it off with Tampa. Because let's focus on the losers first and celebrate the champions last. Uh, Tampa Bay, man. You know what surprised me about Tampa Bay the most is how upset they were in those last like 2 minutes of the
I
game.
agree. I get that. I get it. It's the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's what you're working for. But like most of them, like 95% of that locker room, like they just won it 2 years in a row. Like I
But
get it.
that
Be
tells
angry.
you that tells you what a special team they are. Like the fact that they still had that drive 2 minutes left in the game, 30 seconds left in the game, 5 seconds left in the game. A minute after it was over, Hedman was still yelling at the refs. Like, I'm surprised how bad Tampa wanted it still, especially the leadership in Tampa, like Kucherov.
I mean, I guess at this point, getting the third one is just getting your name thrown as one of the greatest teams
It's dynasty, yeah.
in ever, and being a dynasty. So I mean, I guess I get it.
But I don't know. There's a lot of rumors, Miguel. Like Pat Maroon said after the game 6 that you're going to be surprised at the level of damage that's on his Tampa Bay Lightning team. And I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if they're
seen
like
that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're like Boston, because Boston's going to have a lot of people out till halfway through the season. You might have a situation where a lot of Tampa's healing up. Um, like
Probably.
like Cirelli couldn't lift his left arm after like game 3, I believe. Uh Kucherov didn't look that great. Stamkos had a phenomenal season. He probably was the only one
Yeah.
there. Him and Palat like carried the scoring load. And man, credit to Tampa, or credit to Colorado, I should say. But Tampa hung in there as much as they could. But Colorado made them a one-line team. And I can't tell you the last time we saw that kind of defense played on against Tampa, beat up or not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, again, like I said it before, this Colorado felt like a team that was not going to be denied this year.
But how much
Like,
of it? How much did it feel like at all times that you're like, well, Tampa's not dead yet. They can come
oh,
back.
for sure.
Like even 10 seconds left, like some shenanigans will happen, something will happen, and they were dead.
Oh, honestly, at the end of game 5, I really felt like, oh, Colorado's in trouble. Like, Colorado's in trouble because they didn't look great in game 5.
And game 6 started that same way.
Yeah. So,
But
and their
man,
goaltending looked shaky, and it's like, ooh. But
Colorado,
they did it.
yeah, Darcy Kemper, he had a rough playoffs, but he did enough when they needed him to. He was big, except for that Stamkos goal in game 6. Like he's the first goalie, since you're gonna love this stat, and I know how much you hate analytics, but he's the first goalie since Marc-Andre Fleury in '09 to be on a winning team, be the starter, and have a negative expected goals.
I'm not surprised by that stat.
I knew you'd like it. That was cherry picked just for you, Vigo. You love it.
Thank you.
See,
I
I
appreciate it.
consider your feelings, but when it mattered the most, Darcy Kemper stood on his head in game 6. There was a one timer that
Yeah,
Kucherov
for
had
sure.
in the third period, and he stopped it, and it was almost the exact same goal he let in that was the game winner in game 5.
Also, I 100%, without a single doubt in my mind, if Tampa wins game 6, Tampa wins the cup.
Oh man,
I just think it's too much of a mental shift to stop at that point. You know what I mean? Like Colorado had to win last night. They just had to.
That was the thing in round 1 against the Leafs. Remember, they were up 3-2, and you're like, Toronto needs to win game 6, so they're not winning game 7.
Yep.
And honestly, that's kind of what this series felt like. It almost felt like that, where like Colorado doesn't put it away here. Game 7 is Tampa time, and I don't know, because at that point, Miguel, like midway into game 6, we saw what nervous Colorado looks like, and that was in game 5. Would they be able to settle their nerves into game 7? Doesn't matter, because they handled business. They grinded it away, and just like their hashtag says, they found a way. And they scored just enough goals, and Darcy Kemper played just as he needed to have a 2-1 win.
Yeah. But good for them.
But yeah, good. Hats off to Tampa. I mean, they're gritty. It's phenomenal what they would do in 2 shortened seasons, winning it back to back like that. And
team to win the Stanley Cup in a 32 team league.
According to our good friend TJ, the only cup that matters now.
The only cup that matters. And not only that, they made history twice by being the fastest team to dent the cup.
Oh my God!
In less than 5 minutes.
5 minutes in, Nicholas Aube-Kubel trips.
I mean, I always say that's what makes Colorado so deadly. How fast they are. You know what I mean?
Hey, even at the going to sell it, put the photo up. Too much speed.
It is so funny when if you see the interview with the guy that the protector of the cup, whatever his name is.
I think it's Philip Pritchard, but I'm not 100%.
Like he looks so like annoyed. Like I'm sure he's seen the cup get dented multiple times. I'm like, Washington dented it.
Oh,
I know.
do you remember last year with Tampa?
Tampa absolutely dented it. Yeah. Because the thing is, there's 3 cups, right?
Yes.
And I think usually the presentation cup doesn't get dented. So I think that's probably why he was probably a little annoyed, because this is, I'm assuming, the presentation cup, and it got dented, and it's usually the traveling cup that gets dented.
But man, what a funny photo. Like if you can find it, it's just as Nicolas Aube-Kubel trips in front of everybody. You just see everyone's reaction, like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so good.
Let's talk Colorado, Miguel. What's your lasting impression of the 2022 Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche?
Worst fan base in the league. Nah, it's a good team. Good team, fast. I'm absolutely, and we kind of glanced over and didn't even talk about, but we'll talk about it right now real quickly. Absolutely happy Cale Makar won the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserved it, and I was worried they wouldn't give it to him. We talked about it, but I'm glad they did give it to him.
Miguel, I got Tampa in 5 wrong, but I did nail Cale Makar winning the Conn Smythe somehow.
That's true. That is true. And I nailed Colorado in 6, by the way.
Oh, so did Aaron, and so did my heart. I put up a clip on Twitter. I'm saying if I had to vote with my heart, I said Tampa. I said Avs in 7. No, make it 6. So I feel like all of us kind of knew, like we said, like if it goes 7, Tampa's winning. They just find some fuckery to somehow escape every game 7 with a win.
So do you think Nathan McKinnon had a proper dinner for once?
You know what's funny? He actually said, so they asked him about winning the cup, right? And he talks about like Tampa Bay going back to back, and he goes, I don't know if we're gonna go back to back, but I'm gonna enjoy this one and get fat as shit.
Nice. I'm happy for him. Imagine, bro. Next season, McKinnon's slow as shit. Like he's finally eating.
God, he's gonna come back.
And he's just a fat piece of shit on the ice.
He's gonna come back like James Harden when he wanted to trade from Houston. For listener who don't know, James Harden, basketball player, wanted to trade out of the Houston Rockets, and he just came back like 30 pounds overweight. And then as soon as he gets traded, I think a week after getting to Brooklyn, he just comes back.
He dropped all that weight.
He's
in
shape, ready to go.
I'm still not convinced. I'm still not convinced that maybe it wasn't even just a fat suit underneath.
It could have been, but like, look, man.
That or he's gonna come back like Phil Kessel. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, if he comes back looking like Phil Kessel, he'll be fine. Phil Kessel's fucking great.
Congratulations. But yeah, I'm a great team, man. They deserve it. They really do. This is not being sarcastic. They really do.
I can't tell with you anymore.
I'm being genuine. Like,
give me the sentence. Give me the sentence one more time.
I'm genuinely happy for the Colorado Avalanche. They deserve it.
Why are you laughing as you say that? Why are you laughing as you say that?
You're making me laugh. What about you? What's your lasting impression on the Colorado?
Man, it's a team that finally put it all together, right? Like that's kind of it. Like for a couple years now, we've been saying like, man, I don't know how anything's going to beat the Colorado Avalanche, and then something bad happens in the second round, they can't get out of it. And you were right, Miguel. You were absolutely right. It happens every once in a while where you want me to tell you were right, Miguel.
Thank you.
100% right. Where you have these teams have these hurdles, like the Washington Capitals over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like you have these teams struggle and hit the wall. And the first shot that they get to finally put away their demons, they get over it. And it feels like nothing can stop them. And that's kind of what it felt like. They went 16-4. That ties, I believe, the best playoff record of all time. Last team to do it.
And it's more so, yeah, and you're right. But it's more so like the actual team. Like, I don't mean like something like in baseball with the Red Sox and the whole Babe Ruth curse. This is like I'm saying, when it's the same core that struggles every year and bounces out in the same spot every year to the same team every year. It's like, oh my God, now that they get through, I think it's some mentality thing where like, dude, nothing can fucking stop us now. And that's what I thought, like I said before, like, I thought that was going to happen with Toronto this year, but it didn't. And it ended up happening with Colorado. So we'll see if Toronto ever gets out of the first round. I feel good for them. Like, I mean,
oh man, you would think. You would have to think. I mean, they just have Austin Matthews just won the Hart, and then the Ted Lindsay for best player in the NHL. Like, stop it! Happened last week. Like, You would think that something like they're the next team. They're like, all right, if they can get over this hump, maybe they can make some noise or something like that. But I mean, sometimes it's not given. Like I feel like that's what people expected out of the San Jose Sharks forever. Remember, Miguel? Like this team's really fucking good. This team won the President's Trophy. Makes another deep playoff run. Makes another deep playoff run, and they finally get to the final, and they get beaten by Sidney Crosby, and never make it back. You know, it just
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't happen for you. And
Breaking news.
what happened?
I don't know if it's breaking news, but Daniel of our Facebook group just sent us a photo of Colorado with the cup, and it clearly has a second dent in it.
Oh my god, it does.
It's that bottom is no longer a circle; it is a square. That is nuts, dude. Oh, you know what? This is why I said it. This fan base doesn't deserve it.
Oh, stop
this
it!
team doesn't deserve it.
Stop it! I don't know what rivalry you have with the Colorado Avalanche fan base, but they didn't do that. All right. But man, what a season! Like also Cale Makar. You know, before you interrupted me, I was gonna make this about the Los Angeles Kings. They went 16-4, tied for I believe is the best playoff record of all time. Last team to do that, your 2012 Los Angeles Kings, who also dominated the playoffs. I think it's easy to forget with what a close series this was. Because don't forget, 2 of those games went to overtime. Like, I think that's what made this series so well. Like, it could have ended it Abs in 4, Tampa in 4, or either of those teams in 7, or anything in between. And you almost had that. Like, if one of those bounces comes back, like, you never know. Like, Colorado's gonna, like you said the last time I was here, Miguel, Colorado's gonna be good for a while. The window's right open.
Yeah,
And
it's wide open.
they have a couple free agents they need to take care of. Like, you know what's gonna happen with Kadri,
they're gonna run into a bit of a cap issues, but
that's every team that wins.
yeah,
That's every team that wins, and
it's so funny. So I mean, we can quickly glance into it, but they're talking about like, oh, Nathan McKinnon, his contract is due up in what, a year or 2?
The year after this one, so 2.
A year after, so 1 more year.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I think he'll take a team friendly deal. I was like, I don't know. He seems like a team friendly deal guy, but at this, like Sidney Crosby, but at the same time, you have your cup now. Why not get paid out? You know what I mean?
You make a lot of sense, but also there's this good article that Greg Wyshynski of ESPN wrote that basically talks about like how intense Nathan McKinnon is. And if you don't think he wants to tie Sidney Crosby, his best friend, with more cups than him, I don't know, man. Like it's hard for him. He's probably one of the few guys that I'm like, you're absolutely gonna take less money because you think.
Well, no, like I said, he looks 100% looks like a take less money to keep the team together guy. But I guess that also depends on what everyone else does before his contract's up.
Well, project this. Like, is he a 13 million a year player, which is more than McDavid by 500 grand?
No.
Is he 12?
Yes. I think so.
Is he gonna get 12?
No.
Because he wants to, or because the Avalanche won't give it to him?
I don't think Avalanche gives it to him.
I think he asked for less. I think he's gonna end up.
He's
being
gonna sign for 10. He's gonna sign for 10. I'm gonna say.
I could see that. And that's a steal for Nathan.
That's a steal for McKinnon. Absolutely, absolutely.
Steal. But also that's another one of my biggest pet peeves. Like the season just ends, teams are raising the cups, and we're immediately talking about this guy's a free agent. Is this his last moment with? Well, this team?
Because it ain't our team, so I don't give a shit about their celebration.
I hate it though. Like, let them enjoy.
Either way,
this. They are part of the Colorado Avalanche.
Any last words before we move on past
by asking players
the Stanley Cup?
Stop asking players after they won a game or lost a game if this is the last time they're ever going to.
I agree. They shouldn't ever ask the players until it's time.
Stop it.
And even then, they're not going to tell you shit until they fucking sign the contract. So it's just stupid.
Cale Makar, is he in the top 3 of the NHL? I know. He's really good though.
That's tough. That is tough because.
Okay, let's start slower then.
Here's my thing. Is he more valuable than Connor McDavid? No. Is he more valuable than Austin Matthews? No. So he's definitely not top 2 off the back. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Is he more valuable than Nathan McKinnon on his own team? Obviously, he was for this cup run, but in general, is he?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's harder to
I
find
don't
defense.
know.
It is harder to find a defense, though. It is harder to find defense.
He's top 3 defenseman, maybe even the best. I mean, clearly he won the award for it, right?
Norris, but they didn't get more first place votes. Roman Josi got more first place votes.
I know because Roman Josi got robbed, but
It was Cale Makar. They made the right choice even before the cup.
Cale Makar, as far as the heart goes, got 8th place. So that is just saying he's the 8th best player. Roman Josi got more heart votes and lost the Norris. It's crazy. Let's just get into it. Let's get into the NHL awards.
Let's do it. Again,
We'll start at the top. We'll start at.
Let's leave it like this. Congratulations, Colorado. You deserve it. What a season, you guys. I mean, I don't look forward to the next time the Kings play the Avalanche because it's never a good time. But this team will be up there. And I honestly, if the Kings aren't gonna probably not make the final next year. You never know. Hockey's dumb. I hope we get Avs Lightning healthy part 2.